All right, welcome back, everybody. Welcome to this week's issue of the Sunday Night Victory win streak. This week we're going to change things up a little bit. We're going to really drill down into the specifics of how you're going to go about going from this passive, by accident, life is happening to you lifestyle, and how you're going to start taking over piece by piece and doing things on purpose. We've talked a lot about that in the last couple of weeks, and I decided that it was time that we really start to drill down with the specific disciplines that it'll take to get you there. I can stand here and I can talk about how exciting it is, and I could try to motivate you, but the bottom line is, unless I'm delivering the step-by-step methods that it's going to take to get there, I'm not doing my job, right? And so the first thing we're going to focus on is everybody's favorite. The first thing we're going to focus on is getting out of bed early, right? Now here's the thing. You find me somebody who's getting out of bed at 5 in the morning every morning and spending some time in the morning and getting up before they need to, and I almost promise you that person is experiencing some success in their life. Not every successful person gets up at 5 a.m., not all of them, but find me somebody who gets up at 5 a.m. regularly every single day. Find me somebody that gets up at 4:30 a.m. just to get a start on the day, and I can almost promise you that person is pretty successful in one way or another in their life. And so there's a reason we want to start with getting out of bed early. And the number one reason we want to start with getting out of bed early is it's hard, right? It's happened to me, I'm sure it's happened to you. You're going to bed at night, getting ready to crawl into bed, and you're thinking about how great of a day tomorrow is going to be. And you have all these plans, and you might lay out your exercising clothes, or you might make a to-do list, or whatever the case is. And when you go to bed, boy, at 9:30, 10:30 at night, whatever time that is, you are ready to get out of bed the next morning. You are going to get up when the alarm goes off, you're going to put both feet on the floor, and you are going to start taking on the day. Except what happens? You wake up the next morning, right? The alarm goes off at 5 o'clock, and getting out of bed seems like the absolute worst idea you've ever heard of. And so now you have this internal battle going on, right? Your rational mind says, you got to get up. Last night, this was a good idea. You planned on this. This is what you've got to do. And then your irrational mind says, it's so warm here in bed. Why don't we just stay here? We can do that in an hour. We can hit the snooze button and we can do that in 15 minutes. And that internal battle is hard. I'm not here to say it isn't hard, right? But that's the number one reason why this is worth doing. Because if you can start getting up out of bed on time, earlier than you need to, every single morning, if you can start winning that battle, and it's a hard battle to win, that means it means something, right? And so we can accomplish a bunch of easy stuff. Who cares? Let's start accomplishing something hard, and let's start building some momentum. The second reason we're going to focus on getting out of bed early as we start our process of starting to live our life on purpose and take control is just that, control. Getting out of bed early is fully within your control. One of the tricky things you find out when you start to live your life on purpose and start to be deliberate about how you go about your life is that there are certain things that you can control directly, certain things that you can control indirectly, and certain things that you can't control at all. For example, the behavior of others. You can't control how well or how poorly everybody else is driving around town on your way to work in the morning, right? So you can't control that piece. The piece that you can control is how early you leave to get to work. It's similar with getting out of bed. There is almost nothing more in your control than what time you wake up and put both feet on the floor. And so because this is completely in your control, it's all in your ballpark. It's all about you. You don't have to rely on anybody else, and you don't get to make excuses for anybody else when it comes to getting out of bed early. So number one reason, it's hard. Number two reason, it's completely within your control. And that brings me to the number three reason. It's going to set a precedent, right? It is going to, every single day, set a precedent for your day. Now, I got news for you. I could tell you that you're going to wake up early and your day's going to be awesome, but that might not be the case, right? What focusing on getting out of bed early is going to do is it's either going to give you a big win the first thing in the morning or a loss first thing in the morning, right? So when that alarm goes off at 4:45 and you hit the button, put both feet on the floor, stand up out of bed and start with your day, you have just won a hard battle first thing in the morning. That's momentum. That's progress, and it's going to build. You wake up, read the article that's below in this newsletter from Admiral McCraven talking about making your bed. Now you wake up when the alarm goes off and you make your bed and accomplish a task. You've already won a victory and accomplished a task before 5 o'clock in the morning, right? So that's progress, and you will be surprised, you will be amazed at how well that sets up the rest of your day. But I got news for you. If the alarm goes off at 4:45 in the morning and you don't win this battle, you hit the snooze button, and you don't get out of bed until 6 or 6:30, and then you rush to work, I want you to understand you lost this morning, right? When we do something hard and we do something that's within our control and we don't pull it off, you lost. And it's time, if you're going to make that decision to start taking control and to start living your life on purpose, you need to win the battles that you can win, right? And so it's important. It's every bit as important to understand. We want to understand that when we get up early and we accomplish our task and we start positive momentum and we win the day, that was a win. But I also need you to understand that when you don't get up in the morning and you intended to, you lost. There are famous athletes, I'll put a quote on the bottom of the screen, that say that they were successful because they hated losing more than they liked winning. So for some of you out there, you've thought about getting up out of bed early before, and you know it sets you up on a good day, but sometimes you just slack and you get lackadaisical and you don't do it. Think about it like this. When you plan on getting up early and you don't do it, you lost before you even got out of bed in the morning. Perhaps that'll be the motivation it takes to get you over that next hump. Listen, if you think getting out of bed early is something that's new, right? It's a 21st century type of struggle. It's not, right? As I was looking into putting this video together, there's some quotes from Aristotle, right? He died in the 300s BC about the importance of getting up out of bed early. There's quotes from Marcus Aurelius, who died in like 100 AD or something, about getting out of bed early. So this has been a problem and an issue and a battle that people have been fighting throughout all of eternity. But it's a battle that successful people win. And if you start, whatever time you normally get up, if you normally get up at 6, start getting up at 5. If you normally get up at 5, start getting up at 4:15. Whatever time it is you get up, use this as your win and prove to yourself you can do it on purpose and start getting up earlier. Right? I do it. You guys got to start doing it. It's uncomfortable, but it's going to be the first step on where we're going. So I appreciate y'all checking this out. Share this with your friends and family. You know somebody who's lazy, who's sleeping in all the time? Share it with them. Send it to them. Sign up on the website. And I hope I'll talk to you real soon.